Good evening, and welcome to Meet Marshfield. I'm your host, Arnie Briggs, and this is our first show of a brand new show here that we have on Marshfield Cable Television. And the idea of this show is to present to the Marshfield people a show of various people, places, and events that take place in Marshfield. And if you have something that you'd like to get onto this show, just give us a call at 781-837-4384. Talk to our directors, tell them what it is that you would like to have shown here, and we'd be glad to see if we can do it for you. Now, before I get to that, I'd like to also invite you once again to our open house, which will be Saturday, October 18th from 3 to 7, right here in the studio. This, by the way, is Marshfield Cable Television. This is your studio. It's run by a board of directors, which was appointed by the selectmen last January. And it's not Adelphia, it's not Comcast, this is Marshfield. And you really ought to come down and see what we have here. We have the cameras, the control room. We'll get you on live TV if you would like. We'll have something to eat. We'll show you some graphics. So some of the people will be working at some of the machines. And we'll have some of the townspeople come in and we'll interview them. So that's a week from this Saturday, October 18th from 3 to 7. Just drop in and say hello. We'd like to have you come on down. And the other thing is we do have a website, and it's a pretty good one. This is www.mctvinc.org. So that would be MCTV for Marshfield Community Television, Inc.org. And it has all our programming on there, and all the phone numbers, and all the things that you need to know. So let's get then to our first guests, which happen to be, in this case, we're going to do Marshfield Kids at Play. And our two guests here today will be Elizabeth Zimmer, who is the chairwoman of the group, and Matt McDonough, who is a board member. Welcome.
Thank you.
To the show today. And I know that this is something that's been in the planning for a little bit. And I remember back in the old days when I took my grandchildren down to the old mazes. And unfortunately, recently I've had to take them over to Norwell, which has a very good one. And I know this is a very good thing that you're working on. So why don't you start off, I don't care which one, a little bit of history, you're the chairwoman, a little bit of history of why we're doing this and what you have done so far.
Sure. Basically, it all started last summer, for me anyways. I was actually appointed to the playground committee. I responded to a notice that was in the Marshfield Mariner looking for people to participate in a playground committee. And I was about 14 when the mazes were built the first time, and I grew up in Marshfield, so I remember it quite clearly. I remember I brought gallons of milk to the child care center that was being run out of the high school while the actual build was going on. And even at that age, that cynical teenage age, I was really moved by the sight of hundreds of people crawling all over that site for hour after hour.
So you're looking down from Marshfield High School?
Yes.
Watching it? Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. And it was just, it was really, I can still picture it actually in my mind's eye. And one of the things that's been kind of funny for me is in talking to people about this project around town, I've encountered a lot of people who have the same recollection as I do, males and females who now are parents themselves, who remember being, in 7th grade, 8th grade, sitting on the fence watching it being built. So we all have that kind of special memory, and that was what my initial interest was. So when the selectmen made that request, and I entered a letter of interest, and one of the things that I emphasized was that I was interested in what's called a barrier-free playground, which goes a little bit beyond handicap accessible, and I know we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But the committee was formed, and it had myself and another woman named Jamie King as at-large members, and then there were representatives from all of the major, the major who would have an interest town committees, including Matt, who was the school committee representative, as well as planning, DPW, ADA, the planning board. Am I missing somebody? Conservation. Can't think of conservation. And our first task was to determine where to put this new playground. And there was an initial thought about, of course, back where the mazes were. But then we were aware of what the high school was kind of thinking about in terms of the expansion, and that was, key in keeping us informed of that and connecting us with Principal Kuther and speaking with the school committee themselves. But so in the course of going through what possible town-owned parcels there were, and there were almost 700, we decided to form this nonprofit, this Marshfield Kids at Play, to do some fundraising for the project.
So now you have 3 children, so you're definitely interested in this.
I do. I have 3 children, yes.
3 children, and I have my first on the way.
Oh, that's what I've heard.
So this coming March.
He's been under a lot of pressure from us. I can't say parents until you have it.
Right, the only member of the board who didn't have a child. So they were all
You did it, right?
Exactly.
expecting a baby girl this spring. So
Oh, awesome.
we're quite
That'll be
excited
fun.
about that.
I can hardly wait to see it. I know Matt and his wife very well. So, you have 5-year-old twins.
I do. Brady and Nathan, I have to say hi to them
Right.
because they wanted to come here and talk about superheroes, but I told them maybe next time.
Next time we'll do that one. And then you have a
I have
daughter,
a daughter, Sarah, who's 1.
1-year-old, Sarah. That's my granddaughter's name.
Oh, is
Sarah.
it? Good,
Yeah,
good choice.
great name. All right, so why don't we take a look at some of the pictures, because I went around and took some of the pictures of the sites, seeing that you just mentioned that, and then we can get into maybe some of what's going into the site a little bit later. And the first picture I'd like to bring up, boys in the control room, if you could bring up the one on the Roach Brothers, picture number 1. And I think we all know where Roach Brothers is, and it's hard to visualize here, but I'm standing behind Roach Brothers looking out to where possibly this is going to be. Is it going to be into the woods area, or is it going to be in the open area?
Arnie, the selection that we told you about ahead of time, and we thank you for taking the picture of the 3 areas. These are the top 3 areas that we came to as a committee and decided that they met the most amount of criteria that we were looking for. Ideally, we wanted low cost on removing trees and grading the area. We were looking for areas that already had access to bathrooms. Parking was a large consideration, and this particular area scored high in several different areas. What you see right now, obviously, is not what's going to be there in the future. That's hopefully what's going to be our future town green behind Roach Brothers. So we're hoping that if this were to be a site that was selected, and again, it was one of our top 3, it didn't come out as number 1, but it was met a lot of criteria. It would fit in nicely with what will be the future Boys and Girls Club and several other commercial areas. So we're hoping that it would meet bathroom accessibility, that we wouldn't have to put a lot of work into grading the area and all those considerations.
Right.
In terms of where on the parcel, the picture that we're looking at, from what I understand, the owner of the property is looking to create retail uses, and he's in the process of modifying his plans in terms of where exactly the buildings are going to be. But the way that I'm understanding they're going to be changed, it would be along the right-hand side where you see the white pergola. I don't know if that's the right term. To the right of that, that's the area that would be open, and it would go back a bit into this wooded area slightly.
It is a nice area. Why don't we go to the next pictures, which happens to be where the old mazes were.
Right.
And kind of looking at this, the last
very sad
remnants.
there now.
Isn't it sad?
Updated there.
Now, I have 3 pictures here, but let's take this one for a moment and tell me a little bit about why you're still thinking of this area.
This is a site, Arnie, that, for those who don't know the larger picture there, it's situated right at the high school. And as a member of the school committee, I took responsibility for communicating with the principal at the high school, other members of the committee, and the superintendent. This past year, there was a survey that was done, a study that was done of the entire high school, and not only the building itself as to what we should be doing in the future to either make it better or to possibly replace it, but also the access roads and the grounds that surround the high school, and what could be done to be most productive with the use of that land, not only for the high school, but the middle school and the Martinson School. One of the concerns that came up with reusing this property in the exact same way is that the survey came back saying that we really do have to address how we set up our access roads to those 3 different buildings. Right now, it's, from my own perspective, volunteering at the high school in a couple of respects, it's confusing.
It's tough.
You got a lot of one-way access areas that are only divided by simple stop signs, and it creates a lot of areas of congestion.
And you can never find a parking space.
And you never get a parking space unless you happen to be a visitor.
Right.
The visitor spots are very clear. They're very good right up front.
Can we have the next picture on this particular site? This is